In this video, we are going to talk about the reference lines in Tableau. So we have actually started the discussion on the particular topic in the previous video itself. In this video, we are just going to continue our discussion. So we have seen how to create reference lines, right? Today we will see, or basically in this particular video, we will see how to manipulate it and how to work with other options like the bands or the distribution points. So first of all, let's just work with lines only. Like here we have the line only option, but there are two options available as well: line and confidence interval and confidence interval only. So we will take a look at them after we have seen this band option. Okay. Right now we are going to look at formatting. So these are the formatting options that are available. From here you can select the color of the line, the distribution or the type of the line, and the width of the line, right? Like suppose we select a dotted line, we want a dashed line, we can just select a solid line, the width of this particular line and its particular color. Just like this, you can just select anything that you want. Okay. Then there is a fill above or the fill none option. If you want to fill above the average line, you can just select. So this chart would be filled above the average line, showing that which categories are above average. If you want to fill below with let's say another color, let's say green color, then this is how it is filled and this is how it is looking. Okay. So this is for a reference line. That means the main point is the creation of the reference lines, and the data or the area below it and above it have been selected, right? Let's just click it to none and bring it back to normal. Next we have is a band. So what is a band? A band is just basically like a line, but it is just two lines that can be used simultaneously to depict some data. Like you can see, by default this band is created that shows from minimum to the maximum all the values. Some space on the upper side and some space on the lower side is being left out, and all the area of the chart between these 2 points is colored in gray color, right? So this is what we have for the band. Suppose we just can see here that this kind of a band is created by default with Tableau. Now how can we just work with it, right? So as you can see, it is very similar looking to the line pane that we got in this option for the line creation. The only difference is that we are getting two values, the band from and band to values. So if we talk about the band from values, as you can see, it currently shows minimum, but it would ultimately point out to the lower end of the band. And this band 2 will point out to the upper end of the band. Then you can select if you want a line on the lower and the upper ends. So this kind of a line would be created for you to easily identify the lower and the upper ends, and what color you want to fill it with. So this is the color. In case you want to change it, suppose I want from average to minimum, so let's just select average to minimum. This is the area that has been selected. Suppose I want from average to maximum, then also the area I can select. Now you must be wondering that I have selected average in band 2 and in maximum I have selected band from. So it doesn't matter what the values you have selected. The only thing that matters is you need to provide two values that are not conflicting with one another so as to create a band. Suppose what are the conflicting values? Let's say we have selected maximum over here. Let's again just select maximum. So these are the conflicting values, like only maximum is the single value is there, that is the maximum. So instead of just extending the area, these two have been collapsed into one another, giving us just the line kind of a format. So if you want to create lines with the help of this band, this is how you can do that. Otherwise you can just select anything that you want from maximum till the total, like what is the difference between the two. For this you can just get the values options between the labels so as to get it here, like this is a maximum value and this is the total values. Then we can also get a tooltip. You want to create a custom tooltip. Suppose let's just say add the computation and add the value, so hyphen value. Similarly in the tooltip, let's just create a custom tooltip with a computation hyphen value, right? So now what happens is if we just hover over it, we would be getting a tooltip. Okay. So this is how the bands are created. You can just work with them, manipulate them. This is the entire table band. If we just select the per pane band, so the similar band for individual panes would be created, right? Next we have is the distribution point. So what are these distribution points? These three have the same scope: per pane, entire table, and the per cell. So let's just go with the entire table. As you can see, its values are a little bit different. In the computation, we have a value that provides that what percentages we want. Suppose right now what we have selected is what percentage we want and what is the criteria. So for the criteria we have two things: the parameter and what value you want to add on the parameter. Suppose I want out of the total sales, I want all the things from 10 to 50% to be highlighted, right? So if I just do that, so this is the 10% of the total. You can see chairs and phones are the only subcategories which are in the 10% of the total amount of sales. So this is the kind of options that we get through distribution. Not only this, we have multiple options that are available for us to work with the distributions, like you can see percentiles. So right now 95 is the default value. You can just select any value, so it would mark that what is the 80 percentile option. You can just get a line here. What is the 80 percentile option and how many categories or the subcategories are just above that 80 percentile. We are getting storage, phones and chairs above the 80 percentile, and tables almost touching the 80 percentiles, right? Then if you just select the 90 percentile, two categories are above that, and just like this you can just select any one of them, or basically any values. If you want to add more values, like you want to compare with the 50 percentile, so let's just add 50 over here and press enter, so it would give you the 50 percentile. Then we have the quantiles that tell us the number of the parts in which the data could be distributed. Like this is the lower quartile, this is the median value, and this is the upper quartile. The values we are getting above the upper quartile, the values we are getting below the lower quartile, and the median values are the point of the concern over here. So by default there are 4 quartiles. If you want 3 quartiles, that means only the lower tertile and the upper tertile would be shown. That means this whole sales value is distributed into 3 parts. This is the first part, right? That is above the upper tertile. Then this is the part that has been highlighted, and the part below the lower tertile. Okay. If you just select 4, so it would be distributed into 4 parts: 1, 2, 3 and 4. Just like this, you can select the number of tiles in which the data is distributed. If you just select 10, so you would get 10 distributions or 10 bifurcations, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? So this is how the things look. This is how the distribution is created. That is why we call it distribution points. Last but not the least, we have standard deviation. So it tells you about the deviation of the data, that what is the distribution points in the data. On the basis of these different distribution points, we can just select them and use them. Like right now we are getting -1 to 1. That means all the distributions we are getting. Next we have is the labels, which is same. You can just select what you want to show. Tooltip is same. You can select what you want to show. Then we have is the line and the fill option. So you can just select the fill colors over here. Let's just go with it. Suppose let's just go with the quantiles. We have 4 quartiles right now. If we just select fill above and fill below, both these things, then we can just select this kind of an option. So these 4 quartiles are now color coded, like red, orange, yellow and green. You can just color code them just for the purpose of the presentation, so that it looks more presentable to you, right? And this is how you can just work with these distribution points in these charts. Next we have is the box plot. So box plot, we are not going to use this to create a box plot, because we can create box plot as an individual chart in Tableau, and that would be more effective. So we would be using just that only to create a box plot. It is just for the purpose, it is just present over here. So you can just use these different options, but I don't recommend using it. What you can do is use the lines, the bands and the distributions. So that's all for this video, in which we learned about how we can add reference lines, the reference bands or the reference boxes in Tableau. That's all for this video, and thanks for watching.